Hey friends, welcome back. I'm so grateful that you are here with me today. I have a great episode. As you know, it is almost back to school time. Our kids will be going back to school before you know it. And some moms I know are happy about that, and some parents are dreading that. But regardless of how you are feeling about back to school time, it's a coming. And I've got some great tips for you today 30 tips for saving money on back to school. So this will cover school supplies, clothing, anything that your kids need for back to school. I've got 30 tips to help you save money this year. And real quick, if you have not left me a review yet, would you please consider taking a couple minutes and leaving me a review on your favorite podcast platform? I would be so grateful. I love to hear what you have to say, and I'm going to be reading them on future episodes. So I hope I have earned a 5-star review from you. And let me know in the comments too if you have other topics that you would love to have me cover. All right, let's get into today's episode 30 tips on saving money on back to school. Okay, we're going to go through these pretty fast since there are so many. So get out pen and paper if you want to take some notes, and let's dig in. Number 1 is do an inventory check. So first, check what you have at home before buying new items. I have always subscribed to the fact that you do not have to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe for your kids every school year. That was something that my parents did with me when I was younger. It's something I chose not to adopt once I had kids. I remember going out and it was fun, although I didn't love clothes shopping. I still don't. But I do remember going out and my mom taking me shopping and spending several hundreds of dollars, I'm sure. I have no idea how much was spent on several new outfits every year and a new book bag or backpack. Those Esprit book bags or messenger bags were popular back then. I'm sure I am dating myself, but I love to get a new one every year. And we spent a ton of money, I remember, right before back to school, new shoes, new coats, everything. And that is something that I chose not to do with my kids once they started going to school. I just felt like it was a lot of unnecessary money, especially when they had a lot of clothes left over that were perfectly fine and still fit them and that they like to wear. So I just made it something that wasn't that important, and still my kids really don't care about new clothes now. They don't care about having the latest trends, and yes, this may change, but I do have 2 sons in high school already, and they don't really care about what they wear too much. My daughter is going into 6th grade, so it's possible that she may start caring soon, and that's fine. So number 1 is to do that inventory check. See what you have at home, and this includes school supplies. See what you still have that you can reuse again this year. See what your kids have for clothes and how much will fit them coming fall and winter. Some kids may have grown a lot over the summer, and some of their old fall and winter type clothes may not fit them anymore. Check their backpacks. Are they in reusable condition for this school year again? Check shoes. Have their feet grown? Do their shoes still fit? Are they in good shape? So do an inventory check and see what you even need and what you can still use. Number 2 is to reuse old supplies. So reuse last year's school supplies if they're still in good condition. If they have any left, half bottles of glue are just fine. I have sent my kids with half used bottles of glue every year. I just send extra. I save them all. You can clean anything that needs to be cleaned and reuse them. We save their crayons, their markers, their colored pencils, the scissors, the pencil holders, the pink erasers that barely get used. All of that stuff, we save it. And at the end of the year, you can set it aside and they'll need it again in the fall. I also save all those pencils that my kids bring home that are like free, they're little rewards and things. And I just sharpen those and send those for back to school. Number 3 is to plan early. Start shopping early in the summer if you haven't planned even prior to that all year round. Start shopping earlier in the summer. Some of the back to school supply sales will be a lot bigger earlier in the summer. So look for those to start coming out and buying each item as it goes on a good discount. This way you can avoid your last minute purchases, because the last minute they're always higher prices. Number 4 is set a budget. Determine how much you can spend and stick to it. Do not go past your budget no matter what. Do not go into debt. Often schools actually cannot require that you provide the supplies. So if you literally cannot afford to buy them, that is okay. The schools still have to provide them. So keep that in mind with your budget and plan accordingly to prioritize the most important items. Number 5 then is to make a list. As you've gone through your inventory, you've checked all your old supplies, what you can use and what you need, create a list so that you're not adding impulse purchases. Number 6 is to compare prices. So everybody's prices nowadays are on apps and websites. So check your local store's apps, find out the different prices that they have on each of the different items you're looking for, whether it's all the different school supplies, whether it's shoes, clothing, coats, jackets, anything that you're going to need, backpacks. Check the prices at the different stores and make a plan to get what you need at each different store to save the best deal, as long as you're not spending a ton of money on gas to do this. Number 7 is to shop sales. So take advantage of those back to school sales and promotions. They are huge in the summer and they start early. They've already started now. Some of the stores near me have been doing $1 or less school supplies, but other school supplies are not really on a great deal. So I buy a little bit each week to get the things that I need. Number 8 is to use coupons. Look for your online or in-store coupons for school supplies. A lot of times the local stores will have a $5 off of a $25 purchase. So look for coupons that will save you a money off of your entire purchase. Even a lot of coupons right now for money off of apparel and shoes. Look for those coupons to save you additional money. Number 9 is to buy generic brands. So of course, brand name clothing, a lot of times kids want that, but they don't necessarily need that. And there are a lot of generic brands of clothes that actually look pretty good compared to the name brands, as long as they're going to hold up well. So this can work better potentially for clothing over shoes sometimes, and also for school supplies. So you don't have to have the name brand glue and pencils and markers. Generic are just fine. They go into a big bucket a lot of the times at school, and so they're all sharing, and kids are not even paying attention to what brand of marker or crayon they're using. Number 10 is to utilize your local thrift stores. For anything that you do need to purchase, shopping at your local thrift stores can get you some gently used clothing, school supplies, shoes, coats, anything that they're needing, backpacks. They're in great condition oftentimes, sometimes brand new with tags for much, much less than you would pay at the store. Number 11, if you have uniforms that are required at your children's school, look for secondhand uniforms or swap with other families. A lot of times there are Facebook groups for uniform swapping. So this is a great option to save you money on those uniforms. Number 12 is to search your online marketplaces. This is like Facebook Marketplace, for example, OfferUp, etc. eBay, you can find great deals on anything that's used or discounted. So don't be afraid to search for things that are in your local neighborhoods, people have for sale on Facebook Marketplace in your area, and go pick up things that you can get for a really great deal. Number 13 is to put out in search of posts in your local free and buy nothing groups. So on Facebook, there's a local buy nothing group. If you have not joined, I highly recommend it. And a lot of times there are other local free Facebook groups as well that people have started that are popular and have a lot of things for free. So put out a search of what you are searching for. So put out a post of things that you're searching for that you need and see what people have to give you, and be checking the posts regularly for people giving away these items. It's very common for clothes for kids to be given away. And also right before back to school, a lot of times families will be going through their school supplies and giving away things that they no longer need. Number 14 is dollar stores. Try those dollar stores for basic supplies like pencils, folders, glue sticks, tape, scissors, things like that. You can find a lot of them at the dollar stores, but actually some of them may be even cheaper at your regular grocery store. So check those first prior to going to the dollar store. Number 15 is to use cashback apps. So make sure you're using those apps that give you rebates for additional savings on purchases or rewards points for money that you have spent, scanning your receipts. And I'll link some of my favorites in the show notes so that you have in case you have not checked those out yet. Quick tip, if you use my links to sign up for any of those apps, you will be getting some extra reward bonuses, and so will I. So it's a win-win. Number 16 is to wait for clearance sales. So you can look at the clearance deals, and a lot of this will help you for next year as well, is to purchase items like backpacks, lunch boxes, water bottles, clothes, shoes, of course, even school supplies once they are on the clearance racks. So this is going to be after school starts. So if you have a kid who has a backpack that is still usable, but maybe you know you need to get a new one, but they can use it for a little while after school starts, then the backpacks will be on clearance, a lot of them, and same with lunch boxes. So if those items are usable for a little bit longer for your kids, but maybe aren't going to last the school year, then start looking at those clearance sales to purchase new ones for way less after school has started. Number 17 is kind of what I mentioned at the beginning of the year that I do with my kids, is only buy clothes and shoes when they are needed, not a whole new wardrobe at the beginning of the school year. So my kids will still wear the same shoes, and whenever their shoes start wearing out in the middle of the school year, I just buy them a new pair then. And sometimes they want fancier shoes, then I will actually use those as a gift for birthdays or for Christmas. Number 18 is to use any gift cards. If you have gift cards that you've saved up, or this is a good practice going forward, especially with those rewards and rebate apps that you can use, save the gift cards that you buy and use those to buy any supplies, clothes, shoes that they need. Number 19 is to buy refillable supplies. So you can use pens, mechanical pencils, things like that that are refillable, and it saves you a lot of money on those little replacement inks and leads for those. Number 20 is to be packing their lunches. You can save a lot of money by packing your own lunch for your kids, especially if you use any of my grocery saving episodes to save you money on food at the grocery store. Then making their lunch from home often will save you a lot of money compared to the prices at school. Number 21 is DIY haircuts. Learn how to give your kids their haircuts at home instead of taking them to the salon. And if you just can't figure out how to do this, or it's not something you're interested in doing, take them to either Great Clips or something like that when there is a coupon or a sale going on, or even less, you take them to your local beauty school. The schools that are teaching people how to cut hair and style hair, they have huge discounts. You can pay like $4, $5, $6 for a haircut versus even $12 to $20 at Great Clips, and even more at a salon, of course. Number 22 is to sell things that you have around the house to raise the extra money to cover the cost of any new items that you need to buy. So once you've done your inventory and you know what you need to buy, if you just don't have the money in your budget, look around and see what you can sell. Maybe there are the clothes that no longer fit your kids you can sell to cover the cost of the new clothes that will fit your kids this year. Number 23 is to learn to repair items. You can learn to sew buttons back onto clothes, sew rips in clothes, patches onto knees of jeans, repair shoes, repair backpacks. You can extend the life of most things if you learn how to repair them. And of course, YouTube has tons of videos that will show you how to do that. Number 24 is to use reusable type containers. So this is investing in reusable water bottles, lunch containers instead of like paper bags every time, reusable baggies, little Tupperware containers, anything that you use for their lunches and snacks at school. And you can often get those items for free in your free Facebook groups, so check there. Number 25 is to buy used electronics or refurbished. So anything like laptops, Chromebooks, even those fancy calculators that your kids need as they get older, the graphics calculators, you can get those cheap at thrift stores. You can look for used and refurbished laptops, Chromebooks to save you a bunch of money, even phones if that's something you feel is important to have for your children. So buy them used or refurbished and save a lot of money instead of buying them brand new. Number 26 is to label your kids' supplies and clothes. So by labeling their school supplies that will be kept with them at their desk, labeling them in case the kids are taking them around the room and they get set down somewhere else, they will know that it's theirs. And same with clothes. You can put them on the tags, on even on underneath of the tags if you don't want them showing. I do this in their backpacks, their lunch boxes. You can label with Sharpie on the bottom of their water bottle. That way, if they get lost or left in the cafeteria, or if your kids are like mine and take their jackets off at recess, once they're in the lost and found, you'll be able to identify that it's your kids' items. And oftentimes the schools will look at the labels, and if they know the kid, they will take them directly back to their classroom instead of putting them in the lost and found. And if your kids do lose any items, have them check the lost and found frequently. I've had my daughter lose a coat and find it by checking back, and it ended up in the lost and found like a month later. Number 27 is to save receipts in case you have any returns. Sometimes there's a school supply list that the school puts out, but the teachers will send back some of the supplies and say that your kids won't need those specific ones. And so you'll be able to return them and get your money back. Same as if anything just doesn't work right. Make sure you get your money back on anything that will end up not getting used. Number 28 is to buy off season. So this is great for planning ahead. So I would recommend starting this now to save on future school years. So you can find clothes, shoes, even school supplies off season. So once they're on clearance, or oftentimes as soon as school starts, then your sandals, flip-flops, summer type shoes and clothes will go on clearance or on sale. Number 29 is to participate in community programs. So if you really cannot afford any of this stuff, make sure you are checking out your local community. There are so many different organizations that offer free backpacks full of school supplies, or at least discounted supplies, and a lot of clothing closets as well. So check with your schools. They often have lists and know where you can find these organizations. Check in your local moms groups on social media. They will know what programs are offered in your area where you can get clothes, shoes, school supplies, backpacks, anything that your kids need for little to no cost. And number 30 is to see if you qualify for free or reduced lunch prices. And also a lot of schools provide breakfast. So if you can qualify for free or at least reduced prices, you can get those for much, much less. And also discounts on after-school childcare programs. So if your school has a childcare program there, or at your local YMCA, a lot of times if you qualify for the free or reduced lunches, then they often have discounts that you'll qualify for as well for reduced childcare. If you need your kids to go somewhere after school before you get off work for a while, this can save you a lot of money. So I hope these tips were helpful for you. I hope you can save a ton of money this year on back to school. Drop a comment for any other tips that you have that have helped you save money, and so you can share with other families and help them save even more. And I pray that your kids have an amazing back to school season whenever they end up going, and an amazing school year, and enjoy the rest of your summer while it's here. Make sure you subscribe. Next week, I'll be talking about how you can save money on all of those kids' activities. You know what I'm talking about, the after school programs, these sports, etc. If your kids are interested in anything after school, any other types of activities, I've got a great episode coming up for you on how you can save. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Blessings to your family.